Hi, everybody. Welcome back to 3 News Now. I'm Stephanie Haney. Today's Monday, February 8th. Thanks for being here for the top stories from WKYC.com and our WKYC app. A lot of the things that people are talking about today are from Super Bowl Sunday. Super Bowl 55 ended in kind of an anticlimactic victory for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers in one sense. It was a very one-sided game, beating Kansas City 31-9. So congratulations to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Congratulations to Tom Brady with his 7th Super Bowl win. That's more Super Bowl wins than any other NFL player. That's more Super Bowl wins than any NFL team. And Tom Brady now has 7 in his 10th Super Bowl appearance. So congratulations to him. Now, there were some Northeast Ohio ties. Again, Kansas City has a couple of players that are originally from the Northeast Ohio area who played in the big game on Sunday. But also, one of the people who was involved in the coin toss is a Northeast Ohio native. I am talking about Susie Dorner. She's a 2008 graduate of Revere Local Schools, which is a school district here in Summit County, and she is a COVID-19 ICU nurse in Tampa. So she was selected to do the coin toss as one of the game's 3 honorary captains. Now, Dorner didn't know how she was selected, but she had a Zoom conversation with people from Revere Local Schools in Summit County, and she said she was on a Zoom with Rob Higgins, who's the executive director of the Tampa Bay Sports Commission, when she realized that she had been selected to be part of the coin toss. She said she was assuming that Higgins was just going to present her with a few tickets to hand out to her team members, but Derek Brooks, who is a Tampa Bay Buccaneers Hall of Fame player, was also on the line, and that's when they said that she would be one of the 3 honorary captains at Super Bowl 55, bringing that Northeast Ohio tie into the beginning of the game. Now, the pregame poem was performed by Amanda Gorman, the same poet who performed at President Joe Biden's inauguration on January 20th, and that poem was called Chorus of the Captains. So that was done in honor of Dorner and also the 2 honorary captains who joined Dorner and community heroes everywhere who are battling the pandemic. There was, of course, another Northeast Ohio connection during the coin toss. Travis Kelce, a native of Cleveland Heights and playing for Kansas City, tight end for Kansas City, he won the toss for Kansas City by calling heads. So they got to choose whether they wanted to be on the receiving end or not for the beginning of the game. Unfortunately, the end of the game did not go Kansas City's way for those Northeast Ohio natives. Sorry about that, but congratulations definitely due to Tom Brady. Now, after the celebration, Tampa's mayor expressed some frustration this morning about seeing fans celebrating with no masks on. This is after the mayor ordered masks to be required at Super Bowl parties, but then there were videos and photos of social media showing big groups of people who were maskless at packed sports bars after the clock started ticking down and Tampa Bay was solidified as the winner of Super Bowl 55. Then, however, so the mayor, Tampa Mayor Jane Castor, she said it was a little frustrating after all the work that had been done to see that coming out. However, after the fact, after reviewing more footage, the mayor said that she was proud to say that the majority of people that she did see out and about were complying, were wearing the masks, and she said that those people understood their personal responsibility and that they were doing the right thing, and the mayor was very proud of that. The White House also weighed in. White House Press Secretary Jen Psaki, I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing that right, I will have to check on that, about whether President Biden was concerned about Tampa fans taking to the streets following the Super Bowl win. And the press secretary said that he is, of course, concerned where there are pictures and photos of people, everyone is, showing many, many people without masks and in close distance with one another at the height of the pandemic. Now, to meet COVID protocols, the NFL only allowed in 25,000 fans to the stadium that typically holds 66,000 fans. Many of those were frontline workers who were already vaccinated, and about 30,000 cutouts. So you saw a mix of that in the stands if you were watching the game yesterday. Now let's take a look at the latest COVID-19 numbers. We'll start with the national and the global numbers today. Across the U.S., there have been a total of 27,033,536 reported cases of COVID and a total number of 463,938 deaths. The U.S. has 4% of the global population, but leading the number of cases and leading the number of deaths by a wide margin. The U.S. has 25.4% of the global COVID reported cases and now 20% of the global reported deaths. Globally, there have been 106,314,695 reported COVID cases and a total of 2,320,720 reported deaths. Now let's take a look at what's happening here in Ohio. I'm happy to say that in the last 24 hours, the Ohio Department of Health is reporting the lowest number of new reported cases since November 4th. That number is 1,926 new reported cases of COVID in the last 24 hours. Now, keep in mind, we do typically see lower numbers on a Monday, but we have also been seeing these numbers go down. So, in any case, this is positive news. We did unfortunately see 36 new reported COVID-related deaths in the last 24 hours. And if we take a look about the percentage of tests that are coming back positive, the latest data we have is from Saturday, when about 25,000 tests were done and about 6.6% of those came back positive. The 7-day average is now at 7% for tests coming back positive. In the last 24 hours, we've seen 134 new hospitalizations, and the total number of people who are in the hospital right now is 2,012 related to COVID. Now, today is the 7th day in a row that we've seen active hospitalizations below 2,500. So Governor Mike DeWine will be making a determination this week. We expect to hear from him later in the week, possibly around Thursday, about whether he will be lifting the curfew here in Ohio. He said that he would if there came a time where we had 7 days in a row of less than 2,500 active hospitalizations. So we'll see what steps he takes later this week pertaining to the curfew. Right now, there are 521 people in the ICU being treated for COVID, and we've seen 11 new ICU admissions in the last 24 hours. And right now, across the state of Ohio, 33% of our hospital beds are available. That's just under 9,100 hospital beds available across the state for people who might need inpatient treatment. Speaking of people who need to be treated for something, there is a man over the weekend who was rescued after he went through the ice in Portage Lakes. Now, the man had been riding an ATV when he fell through the ice on Turkey Foot Lake. This was about 5 p.m. yesterday, and the New Franklin Fire Department was the first on the scene. The people who responded, they put on their cold gear, they got into the water. The call came in because someone said they'd seen him fall through the ice and they saw his head just bobbing above water. They were able to get him out. They were able to stabilize him in the water until they were able to pull him out. But the man did suffer hypothermia, and he was treated and taken to a nearby hospital. We don't have any word on his condition at this time, but this is a great opportunity to remind people the New Franklin Fire Department says no ice is 100% safe. So we shouldn't be going out on the ice. This man, unfortunately, learning that lesson the hard way. Now, the department says if you do go out on the ice, even though it is highly recommended you do not do that to not go alone and to use a buddy system. If you break through the ice, know that hypothermia can cause a loss of motor skills within a matter of minutes and put you in a very dangerous situation. So make sure you're wearing personal flotation devices if that is a risk that you take. Now we have an update on a woman who went trending on Twitter in a TikTok video because this poor woman unfortunately had used Gorilla Glue on her hair instead of hairspray or a different product. This woman, her name is Tessica, in a viral video, she talked about how her hair had been in a side braided ponytail for a month, and she showed herself trying to wash her hair, many other things to break through the seal that was in her hair, but just wasn't doing it. Now, people online said that she likely confused the Gorilla Glue with a common hair product called Gorilla Snot. Now, this is an extreme hold gel, which is used for things like perhaps a mohawk or other things that require a strong hold. So the woman used this Gorilla Glue on her hair and said she had the same hairstyle for about a month because of that. Well, now she has gotten help from medical attention. She went to St. Bernard Parish Hospital and said that's what she was going to do in order to get help to get this glue out of her hair. And then in a later post, it showed someone helping her with sterile water and nail polish remover pads that she had gotten from the hospital. So we don't know if she's been able to get that glue out of her hair just yet, but that is a tough mistake to make. My heart definitely goes out to that woman. There is a GoFundMe available if you're wanting to help her with the costs associated with this. I just don't really see any way out of this woman not having to shave her head in order to get this glue out of her hair. And if she's even able to do that, because it's glued down to her scalp. So thinking of her, we do have that linked on WKYC.com if you want to check that out. Another thing we have on WKYC.com, we have all of the Super Bowl ads in one place. They are all linked right there. You can watch them in the YouTube videos that are in the article. A couple of Super Bowl ads that we saw an M&M's ad featuring Dan Levy's character from TV show Schitt's Creek. This is about apologizing to people and using M&Ms to do it. Anything Dan Levy does, I'm a big fan. He was the host of SNL this weekend, and it was a really great performance. I recommend checking it out if you haven't already. Another commercial, Doritos 3D. Matthew McConaughey was in there. He was a sort of flat Stanley version of himself, trying to look to see what he could do to make himself 3D again. Enter Doritos 3D. Nobody wants to see a flat Stanley Matthew McConaughey, so they saved the day on that one. Also, the Pringles commercial that had astronauts stranded in the sea, and people were too distracted to help them because they were combining their Pringles flavors. Check that one out. And Mountain Dew. Here's the one. Here's the one you need to know about if no other Super Bowl ad. John Cena and Mountain Dew are giving away $1 million to a Super Bowl viewer with a great set of eyes, and all you have to do is count every single bottle of Mountain Dew in the commercial and be the first person to tweet the correct number. And as I'm sure you can guess, not an easy task. But if you could do it, it's worth $1 million from John Cena and Mountain Dew. Check that out. That's linked on WKYC.com. All right, that's it for your 3 News Now update for Monday, February 8th. I will see you next on What's New at 5 p.m. with your Clicking in Cleveland segment with your trending stories. Also, by the way, the 3 Things to Know podcast is live this week, and it's a great conversation with Dr. Gary Chapman. We talk about the 5 love language. Dr. Chapman is the author of The 5 Love Languages, The Secret to Love That Lasts. It's a New York Times best-selling book. It's been on that list continuously since 2007, so make sure you check that out just in time for Valentine's Day so that you can let your partner know how you appreciate them and how you love them, and make sure that you two are at least on board with the love language that each other are speaking, if not speaking the same love language. Okay, that's it. I'll see you next up at 5 p.m. Reminder, you can watch that for free in the WKYC app, so if you don't have it downloaded, now's a great time. Everyone, stay safe and be well. I'm Stephanie Haney.